signed it into law. His wife, former First Lady Laura Bush, is with us today, as is her predecessor, our Secretary of State, Hillary Clinton. Coming together in a spirit of mutual respect, the steps of the chambers where we passionately debate the issues of the day, that's become almost second nature to us. But it is a blessing that we'll hear over and over during the course of this ceremony. Ms. Suu Kyi has shown me the world just how hard-won it really is. Ms. Suu Kyi, on behalf of the Congress, allow me to express how humbled and honored that we are by your presence here in the rotunda of the United States Capitol.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the presentation of the colors by the United States Congress.
The National League for Democracy. Elections followed in 1990, where her party won 80% of the seats. But that joy quickly turned to tragedy. The military junta nullified the election and arrested Aung San Suu Kyi. She would spend the better part of 2 decades.
The lady. But that day is approaching. I've known quite a few brave and inspiring people, but none more so than the woman we honor today. I first met her 15 years ago when she was permitted to leave her house briefly to speak with me at the residence of U.S. Charge A in Rangoon. I was not prepared for her. She was exquisitely polite and graceful. She spoke softly and calmly, a picture of gentleness and serenity. Was this the woman, I asked myself, who was managed somehow to cause so much trouble for the powerful, violent, and cruel men who unlawfully ruled her country? Men who were so befuddled by the implacable resistance offered by this one gentle lady.
That history has a hopeful direction. It's capable of miracles. There's a part of every soul that longs for freedom. And any government built on oppression is built on sand. But as Mandela and Havel demonstrated, vast historical changes often begin in a single mind, a single heart. And the hope that now grows in Burma is a tribute to Daw Suu. One of the most repressive governments on earth attempted to isolate and silence one woman. It must have seemed an easy task. Instead, the regime encountered an immovable object, and its legitimacy broke against her character. Daw Suu became a symbol of courage, perseverance, and defiance. A symbol that integrity was still possible in Burma.
The many Burmese democracy supporters, many from California and Senator Feinstein, who are with us here today. We take this opportunity to remember those who have suffered so much, including the Burmese students, National League of Democracy Party members, and other supporters who fought for democracy in 1988. Members of the Burmese Parliament in exile who have worked tirelessly from abroad. The Buddhist monks who courageously rose up in the Saffron Revolution in 2007, and the internally displaced and ethnic minorities who endured so much poverty and conflict. Today, as we bestow the Congressional Gold Medal on Aung San Suu Kyi, we honor them all with this ceremony in the rotunda of the United States Capitol. It doesn't seem
I have stood next to him on the Senate floor now for a long time, and there's no cause in which he has been more pronounced than doing something about Suu Kyi and Burma. I'm so proud and my congratulations, my admiration, and I applaud him for his career. He's been a long-standing advocate, leading the United States focus on and what was wrong with what the ruling company. He co-sponsored the economic sanctions bill to help Burmese regime toward freedom. Sometimes he
people think it's hard for true praise and congressmen to come down. Lots of times it is.
We thought about many of the women around the world who could not be with us, but whose presence was a strong message of the values that we were promoting. Values that were not just American values, but universal values. Madeleine Albright left that conference in Beijing, taking with her a poster signed by all the Americans and a few others who we gave the opportunity to sign, to take that poster to Burma to give to Aung San Suu Kyi, to let her know once again that there were many of us around the world supporting her in her cause, remembering her personally. When I was a member of the Senate and privileged to vote for the bill that we now see come to fruition in 2008, I never imagined that a year later I would be Secretary of State. But I was so pleased to have the opportunity to work with my colleagues, my former colleagues, in thinking about a new approach that the United States might take to try to see if there were any way to help move a transition forward, not only in honor of and furtherance of Aung San Suu Kyi's life's work, but for the people of Burma. I reached out to Joe Crowley and Congressman Manzullo and my friends, Dianne Feinstein, John McCain, and Mitch McConnell. I went to see Senator McConnell in his office. I said, Mitch, what do you think about seeing whether there is any opening whatsoever? And I was so pleased when he said, well, let's give it a try. Let's be careful. Let's proceed judiciously. On the way out of his office, he stopped and showed me a letter from Suu Kyi to him. We knew that at some point, change would have to come, but whether it would be a year, a decade, or longer, no one could predict. But very carefully and close consultation with the Congress, we began sending Assistant Secretary Campbell and then now Ambassador Derek Mitchell in the position created by the Congress of Special Envoy. Listening, probing, seeing whether there was something happening. And slowly, change started. And of course, when the House arrest was finally lifted, and the voice of this remarkable woman could be heard more broadly, we knew that the United States had to be not only supporting the change, but carefully nurturing it to ensure that it did not end up being hijacked, detoured.
Ladies and gentlemen, Aung San Suu Kyi.
not feel myself this, for I see many familiar and faces that are new to me, but known for my country. This is which I have been waiting for many. Among all these faces are some I saw while I was in the house arrest, and some after I was released from the house. In all the faces I have been accompanied by Elizabeth. So it's worth the honor that you have conferred will be a lasting memento of the steadfast support of the United States Congress for the democratic institutions of my people. From the depths of my heart, I thank you, the people of America, and you, their representatives, for keeping us in your hearts and minds during the dark years when freedom and justice seemed to be. Many of you have done so much to uphold that it would be taking more than one argument to recite all the names of those whom I hold dear. However, I would like to mention the name of one who I so wish could have been with us today, Tom Langley. I'm sorry I have arrived too late to be able to meet him, to be able to take his hand and to say, thank you for what you did for us. Thank you for being man. I never had the chance to meet him, but I shall always remember him with warmth and gratitude. I stand here now, strong in the knowledge that I am among friends who will be with us as we continue with our task of building a nation that offers peace and prosperity and basic human rights protected by the rule of law to all as well as women's realms. This has been made possible by the reforms instituted by our president, Our president are very young, but rapidly legislature, and the vast majority of our people are committed to democratic values that will enable us to fulfill our potential and to take our rightful place in the modern world. I am particularly encouraged by the presence of Mr. Uabe, who has been leading peace talks in our country, and whose presence reinforces my faith in the future of reform and reconciliation. There will be difficulties in the way but I am confident that we shall be able to overcome all obstacles with the help and support of our friends. The ties of friendship and understanding that have developed between you, the representatives of the most powerful democracy in the world, lovers of democracy in Burma, compensates for much of the trials we had to suffer over the past decade. These ties will be strengthened as we work together to achieve our common goals. How privileged I am to be here with you today, but there are many who are not enjoying this privilege yet. And these are the people we need to remember, not just those in my country, but everywhere else in the world where freedom is yet free. I believe I speak not just for myself, but for many of my colleagues and for my people when I say, may today be an augury of many days and years of hope and joy to come for the peoples of the United States and Burma and other peoples the world over who are united in this desire for harmony, security, and liberty. It has always been my opinion that democracy offers the best balance between freedom and security for all of us. To be a whole human being, we need both security and freedom. Without security, we cannot rest in the peace necessary to discover the world to be the beautiful place that it can be. Without freedom also, we will be deprived of the many opportunities that would make us more human and more humane. For this reason, I've always adhered to the principles and values of democracy. No doubt it is not perfect. There is no such thing as a perfect system invented by we human beings who are so riddled with imperfection. And yet, in spite of the imperfections, democracy still remains a beacon of hope for all of us. We have been united, we from many parts of the world, by our belief, by our confidence in democracy. As I go forward with my countrymen and women along the difficult path of building a truly democratic society where all our people can live together in peace, remembering always that Burma is a nation of many ethnic nationalities. We believe that we can go forward in unity and in peace, and give our friends the satisfaction of helping us to get to a place where all people wish to get to, the place where dreams are realized. Thank you.
God whose glory fills the skies, triumph.